As I would like to say, we are gathered here today. The king ain't gonna rise today.
Cancel your flight to Minnesota already?
That was done in the third quarter.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The Lakers looks like something they wasn't, and I like to call them Instagram models. They wasn't who we thought they was. They fooled us. Just saying.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Super Bowl champion and sad Lakers fan Keyshawn Johnson, NBA Finals MVP Paul Pierce, and Fox Sports senior NBA analyst Ric Bucher. I am wearing black today. Morning.
Well, it's black.
Well, yes, always got to stay that way. But also, it's the end of the Lakers season, so I wanted to be respectful. How you feeling?
I told y'all, I mean, shoot, I told you. I told you. I told y'all.
First of all,
I called it first.
I'm a man with many words and few words at the same time.
Of course, yeah.
As I would like to say, we are gathered here today to bow and respect what just happened to my Los Angeles Lakers last night.
At the hands of Rudy Gobert.
That we had an opportunity to do some great things once we acquired Luka. But that wasn't the case to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They said no. No. The king ain't gonna rise today. So what we will do now is lay our heads to rest.
Get rid of these.
And get ready for next season.
We'll get rid of these,
as it comes up on us fast.
We'll throw these in the trash.
Ooh.
Throw them damn things in the trash.
That's very nice words, Keyshawn.
Well, these are still going. Still going.
I didn't realize you were a Timberwolves great.
He is.
No, I'm just whoever
Whoever beats the Lakers.
I'm just helping out the Minnesota pallbearers. And I just want to be dressed appropriate.
All right, Rick. We've got sad Lakers fan, gloating Celtic great. You are a reasonable senior NBA analyst.
And Laker hater.
Not Laker hater.
No, and Laker hater.
No. I got a feeling he up to something. I can feel it.
What
Me?
was...
Yeah. I don't know what it is. My intuition is strong right now.
What was the...
That spidey sense is tingling up.
I got spidey senses. You about to say something. I'm telling you, I feel it.
Pocket.
What was the biggest reason for the Lakers' loss?
Chris Finch.
I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to let the Lakers off the hook. For Chris Finch.
Yeah, Chris Finch, Rudy Gobert,
I'm gonna let you finish.
And the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You wear it. If you want them to get credit, you wear
Taking
the
the gloves off. The gloves is coming off. I can't believe he let LeBron, J.J. Redick, Luka Doncic off the hook.
I am. Totally.
What? Like,
because going into it,
oh my
it took me one game.
Yeah.
Minnesota Timberwolves were simply better, top to bottom.
No, they were.
They were better, top to bottom.
oh my gosh.
It took me one game. One game convinced me of that. And I wasn't sure. Look, going into the series, one game. I wasn't sure going into the series only because I didn't know if I could trust the Timberwolves. I didn't know if I could trust the way they finished the season. I didn't know if they were going to be different from the Timberwolves that I saw at the end of last season and the way they lost to the Dallas Mavericks and the way they played the better part of this season. That was the only reason that I wasn't sure, that I thought I could trust the Lakers a little bit more than the Timberwolves. To your point, I wasn't sure that the Timberwolves were ready to take this step.
Yeah, but they've been moving in the right direction the last couple of years.
Yeah, but we're talking about knocking off Luka Doncic and LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers.
A couple names.
Well, that's what it proved to be. And it took me one game to realize that. And it took the Minnesota Timberwolves one game to realize that. Because this whole thing was decided by the Timberwolves in terms of how they were going to play. But when you think about it, look, J.J. Redick is no match for Chris Finch as a head coach. LeBron James and Luka Doncic proved to be no match for Ant Edwards as a two-way star. And the Lakers bench in no way was a match for the Timberwolves bench. So that's three primary parts of this matchup that were all in favor of the Timberwolves. In fact, when you look at it, Paul, tell me what did the Lakers have over the Minnesota Timberwolves?
two super duper stars.
Were they
that
play
are
like
championship that's been to
stars? They play like
it
duper
don't
stars.
matter.
They play like super
I got two of the top 10 players in the world on my team. I don't care who else is on the squad. Carry, go ahead. Finish.
Carry
I want you to finish. Go ahead, finish.
You go.
No, I want you to finish.
You gave me super
I'm ready.
duper stars.
No, you asked me and I answered. So
and they didn't play like super duper stars. So what else did they have?
What was the biggest reason that the Lakers lost?
All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Yes. At the top, we're going to J.J. Redick. He failed to make the adjustments. He played his superstars guys to where they didn't. No, listen, to J.J.'s credit, he made us feel like the Lakers looks like something they wasn't. And I like to call them Instagram models. You see them on the, I like, then that first date, wait, was that's you? That ain't you. I'm confused. So when we actually saw them, they wasn't who we thought they was.
Okay.
And they did a good job regular season at covering up all that, putting all the glitz and glam on it, all of that. And they fooled us. They fooled us. They got everybody excited. And when it came to light, Key, 2 o'clock? When 2 o'clock, when the club is closed, the lights come on.
It look different.
It get different. The lights came on the Lakers and everything looked different.
Too, though, but I understand.
J.J. Redick. And you know what? J.J. Redick, this is his first time in the playoffs. He can get a pass, but you got to take some blame, too. Mm-hmm. You got him up to the 3rd seed. Luka, all-world player, got his Dallas team with less talent to the finals. Then we got LeBron.
Man,
we all know LeBron. It's just like we can't make these excuses.
That, though, Paul?
No, you're making that up.
I really
less
don't know the Dallas team is less talented.
It's better suited for Luka.
This team, and it's better suited for Luka. That team was built for Luka. This team was not built for Luka. This team was built for LeBron.
I said more talent on this team.
You think so? Than the Dallas team?
Where?
Yeah. Austin Reeves is better than everybody on Dallas not named Kyrie.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Kyrie was there.
No, all right. But you got LeBron, Luka. You got Luka, LeBron, Luka, Kyrie.
Okay, well, so,
I mean, come on.
So Luka, what did Luka do?
Luka, he did all he could do. I don't expect. Then we hear all this stuff like he's out of shape and Luka's gonna be Luka. You got to take him for what he is. He's not gonna be in LeBron James shape. He's not gonna be in Westbrook type of shape. He's gonna be who he's gonna be. Take it if you want. He averaged 30. What else you want from him? That's like asking Shaq, make your free throw.
Give up 40?
Shaq, we need you to make 90% from the line, bro.
Not going to happen.
You're not doing enough. Luka is not going to become a defender. So now you got to build around his deficiencies.
I agree with that.
And so it goes down the line. First is JJ, then it's on Luka, then it's on LeBron.
So you're not crediting the Minnesota Timberwolves at all. This is all the Lakers' fault. The Lakers should have won this series.
This is an upset.
The
this
Lakers
is a 3 seed versus 6 seed.
By one game.
But in all honesty, though,
it don't
Paul.
matter.
No, in all honesty, we were really a fake.
Who was the favorite?
We were really a fake 3 seed.
Who was the favorite?
Because we could have been in the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
We really a fake. Even though it was a 3 seed, we could have been.
Stop trying to make this smoke and mirror. Stop trying to cover up. No.
I ain't covering
This
up.
is a
I'm just
3
saying
seed.
where we were.
I just realized.
We going to the finals.
Joy, I just realized. I realized what this is. This is the Boston Celtics.
Well, they are all right.
Being able to just shame the Los Angeles Lakers.
I know.
You guys in no way are like the proud, never bowing Boston Celtics.
So, Paul, you feel like this was more of a Lakers collapse than a Minnesota.
Yes, because I saw a Laker team that didn't make the adjustments. And they look like a different team from what I saw in the regular season. Regular season, they was making the extra passes, moving the ball, setting screens for each other. Then they get to the playoffs and start playing one-on-one. Yeah. That's not what got them there. We know that. It looked like a whole different team, and JJ emphasized that coming into the season. We're going to make the extra pass. It turned into a Dallas-Luka team in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, we didn't have
some of that during the regular
season. We had zero center presence.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help. No rim protection at all. But, I mean, you think about the rebounding was crazy. The fact that they shot 14% from 3.
And wide open threes.
I mean, like 14% from 3 and still beat us.
Yep.
Think about it. Ant-Man was 0 for 11. How does that happen? I just, some of it is our stars. We got 4 points from our bench. I didn't even look at the total numbers of points we got from our bench.
We or they?
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit of both right now.
Calling the Lakers, they.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you catch me every now and then. They. But we got 4 points from them last night. You just start looking at what this team is in terms of roster construction. Yeah, Paul is correct. We did get fool's gold because we thought, okay, we're going to be all right. We're straight. Woo, it's cool. Everybody seemed to be, for the most part, healthy, for the most part, and that hadn't been the case in the past. And it didn't look like, other than the other night, it looked like they wore down because he had them out there the whole fourth quarter with no substitutions. Outside of that, throughout the course of the playoffs, it looked like they can run in the fourth quarter. That was the one game that looked like they were worn down in the fourth quarter. They did. I mean, the game was just, last night was just, I don't even know how to explain yesterday.
Rudy, Wilt Chamberlain, Gobert.
It was
out there looking like Robert Parrish.
Hideous game of basketball from both teams.
Agreed.
Both teams. I couldn't wait. My eyes, I couldn't wait for that game to be over. Put us out of our misery. 14.9% from three. The Timberwolves shot 7 of 47.
I didn't even realize they shot 47 times.
And the Lakers still lost.
Yeah. Still lost.
They shot. If I told you before this game that the Timberwolves were going to shoot the worst three-point percentage in a playoff game in NBA history with a minimum of 40 attempts, they were going to shoot 15% from three. Hideous. We had to watch that. We had to watch every second of that last night. Awful. And that Rui was going to give you 23, that LeBron was going to give you 22, and Luka was going to give you 28. Would you bet your mortgage that the Lakers were going to win that game? No. Of course you would.
No, I would.
Of course you would. They shot.
Oh, that the Lakers would win.
The Lakers would win that game. And they still found a way to lose it. Where are the adjustments? Okay, so you went with shooting because you have no size. Because Rui is supposed to do something with Rudy. Okay? Rudy Gobert is out there looking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. We have no length.
Where's the stat line? Rudy had 24 rebounds. That's a career playoff high. He looked like he was playing against me.
He was holding the ball like this.
Trying to get rebounds. 24 rebounds. He was just going like this.
The toddlers.
He didn't even have to jump. Just bouncing it back in.
He had no length. We were small.
Okay, but so you're going with shooting, right? Because you have no one to play against Rudy. You know Rudy's on the team, right? Like, you got the scouting report. So you know he's going to be out there. Former Defensive Player of the Year, right? Whatever you think of Rudy, he can do what he did last night to you if you don't put any size on him, which he chose not to do. Then you've got Austin Reeves. At one point, he's one for 8.
No, he was Keyshawn. 1-9.
1-9.
Yeah.
He went 2 for 10 from 3. That's the shooting. At what point do you say the season's on the line?
But
let's move it around a little bit.
Austin Reeves.
And then
he did. He brought in Maxi Cleveland.
That was an adjustment.
He played 4 minutes.
He hasn't played since January?
And he played 4 minutes, though. It wasn't like he played a whole bunch, but for whatever reason.
No, that was the magic trick.
Listen,
but what are you doing?
It was an opposite. That was the adjustment. What Paul said is true, though.
Young kid.
We were bamboozled. We were hoodwinked. We were led astray. When Luka first came, I don't think that the expectations were that this team was going to do it.
They were not.
Everyone was excited. No. When they first made the trade, yes.
Before they played a minute.
Well, that's because everybody was saying it's a duplicate of LeBron and him.
And their defense was going to suffer.
Defense, we were like, they're going to lose AD, so they have nothing for Rudy. Like, they have no height. Right. We're just going to be patient. This is really a move for, like, next year.
We tried to get Williams, but it didn't work out.
And then they started to do a little something. They did a little Facetune. You know what I mean? Smooth little Photoshop. Filter.
Got the filters going.
And we were like, hold up now.
Yep. A little sparkle.
Might be working with a little something out here.
A little sparkle.
Yep. A little shading, the right lighting, the right angles does wonders.
It does.
And then we all got convinced that this was a Lakers team. I mean, Lakers-Celtics finals. We were talking about the thrilled. Imagine.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
Sitting up here with y'all, though, I can't take this.
Western Conference was wide open.
You know that you were walking into this. And the Western Conference was wide open. I can't go too hard on J.J. Redick. He's a first-time head coach and his first time in the playoffs. But I can't give this game. I can't give this game to the Timberwolves. They played awful.
They did.
Rudy was incredible. Rudy was big dog out there. But
as badly as they played, they were still
points.
better.
Yes, but I can't give it to them.
Rudy
They shot historically bad. I don't know if you heard me.
But we didn't have
They shot 7 of 47 from 3.
But Rudy Gobert is on their team.
Right, but I'm saying,
you do get credit for what Rudy Gobert did.
Can you guys not? You collapse every time in the fourth quarter. You have nothing in the fourth quarter for anyone.
No, that's true.
Your 2 stars have nothing in the fourth quarter throughout the entire series. Yep. And you're not even put Rudy in foul trouble. Go at him. At least try to get to the basket and get him out of there. You're just settling for these backup threes. You're just throwing it. Listen, I never say things like this. I never say things like this.
Oh, but you also
I never say things like this.
Okay, hold on. I got to hear this because she never says things like this. I got to hear what she's got to say.
Because I just don't believe in doing this. Paul does this a lot, but I don't do this.
Paul does it a lot.
If you gave me 47 chances to make 7 threes from an NBA 3, I think I could do it. Like, I think I could just, use all my might and manage to make 7. I think I could make 7. Okay. I think I can make 7.
A gopher can make 7.
They still won the game.
Yeah.
We don't have the size. Julius Randle did his work on us, too.
You didn't have the size. You didn't have the coaching. You didn't have the bench.
Coaching is...
And you didn't have the two-way players.
Coaching is young. And what you got to realize when you say all we doing is backing up and shooting threes, you got to also realize the coach's philosophy and who the coach is. That's what the coach does. It's like football. When you have an offensive coordinator that was a quarterback, all he wants to do is throw the football. This is the same thing with J.J. Redick. He wants threes. He wants to rain threes. That's what he wants to do.
I understand that was the game plan going in, but that's what adjustments are. Mm-hmm. Like when you're watching that game last night, Paul, and they're chucking these threes up. Everyone's just throwing the ball in the air everywhere, both sides. And Rudy is eating everyone's lunch. Do you not try and penetrate and get in the paint and get him in foul trouble? Like, do you not try to mix it up? You just continue this all the way through the fourth quarter until your season's over?
Well, the mistake the Lakers did, they went small, but they didn't play fast. That's how you negate Rudy, because he's only good in the half court.
How you going to play fast?
But they didn't rebound.
But how you going to play fast when Luka bringing the ball at the court like an old Mark Jackson back? He dribbling with his back to the rim.
This was, I said, you know what, I said this before the playoffs because everybody was so close. You know, like you said, the Lakers was one game from 3 to 6 and all of that. Yeah. This was about matchups. This was the worst possible matchup for the Lakers because I do believe if they had caught another team at the 6th spot, I think the Lakers would be rolling. But this was a bad matchup for the simple fact they're young, they fast, they can shoot, and they finally got healthy at the end of the year because we didn't know what Minnesota was after the trade. We thought New York Knicks won the trade. We're getting, Cat out of there, and then now we look at
DiVincenzo.
Now you got DiVincenzo. Your bench got boistered up your bench. Mm-hmm. You got Randall gave you some toughness. Randall was out there looking like a young Zach Randolph.
He led them to that win. Yep. If anybody played well, it was Julius Randle.
He was the most
aside from Rudy.
Yeah.
Man, it was a joy to watch.
But Ant-Man didn't need to play well. He just was out there with the inspiration and the hype. Ant-Man was just out there just inspiring them, I guess.
The Lakers showed no toughness though, because I turned the volume down, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna listen to the announcers or whatever. It just looked like the Lakers was getting beat up
from the beginning.
Like it just looked like somebody just kept going to the ground, foul, elbow to the face, hard screen. Luka got tackled. It was just like the Lakers kept going to the ground and just looking at. I was like, they getting beat up out here, and they didn't show any physicality. So that's something they're gonna have to address.
Paul, I would say from the beginning. Joy, that they didn't show that, and that listening to their pregame comments and the tone of voice and the lack of emotion or drive, I feel like this game was lost in Game 4 when JJ did what he did, and played those guys the entire second half, and it didn't work. They all came into this game like, you know what? Yeah, like, we don't know what that was. That was the concession.
It just made me think. This game was lost in the summer, and I'm going to tell you why. Ant-Man went to the Olympics. You know what he did? He got up under AD. He got up under LeBron. He studied them. He not only studied their work habits, he studied their personality. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This game was lost, so now, if I got to see y'all, I know how I can attack you now. Mm-hmm. I see the mental aspect of the game. I see how LeBron work. I admire that. I see how KD work. I see how Steph work. It's going to okay. Why you think he was comfortable enough to get in the game and just shove LeBron like that? I got comfortable with him. This game was won in the summertime, learning the tendencies, learning their personalities. This game, because if he didn't know Bron from nothing, he wouldn't have did that, I don't think. Since he had a chance to know him in the summer, get under him, and like, yeah, Bron, yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, okay, cool. Playoffs come, I know what I need to do.
Where do the Lakers go from here, Key, other than vacation?
Well, first of all, I think we got to figure out how to get a big that makes sense for us. We needed some sort of rim protector. Jackson Hayes, cool kid. I appreciate his efforts and everything.
But it's been nice knowing you.
Yeah, but
I'm just glad to hear you back to we. I'm glad to hear the we again.
But we do have to get a big man. And then don't be afraid to shop somebody. Don't be afraid to package.
Who?
You can package Austin Reeves up. Austin Reeves gave me nothing these playoffs.
Well, him and Connect, you can package.
Yeah, you can package, maybe Connect you, but I don't know enough about Dalton to really say that he should be on the move as a young dude.
Well,
maybe somebody else do.
Contract.
Yeah, you
like
put a big contract. Yeah, with a rookie contract to figure it out. But Austin Reeves, one thing that Paul beat me across the head multiple times as I tried to sell Austin Reeves to me, myself, like, he kept telling me, nah, that's cool and cute, you know, but he really a 7-8 guy. He not a 3, which means that he's our top 3 when he's really supposed to be somebody 7 and 8 on a real team. Yeah. And so we got to just figure out how to find a real superstar, so to speak, if LeBron James stays or not. I don't know what LBJ is going to do. We don't know. He's going to talk to his family and sit down, and they're going to discuss it over Taco Tuesday, I'm sure. But, you know, or even think about him. Maybe it's time for him to say, you know what, I played enough, I'm out of here, and give us some salary cap relief and give us some of that money. I mean, maybe that's something that, you know, the conversation might have to have. It's a tough conversation because it's one of the best to ever do it, but you may have to have that conversation if you want to get back to something, because if you don't get a third real superstar to come in, which would be a second superstar, because now LeBron will move to the 3rd spot opposed to the 2 spot, we'll be back in the same position again, having dudes like Paul poke fun at us and Rick poking fun at us down the stretch about, oh, y'all going to be the 10th seed if y'all don't get rid of it.
Fun or just kind of telling the truth?
Telling the truth.
Huh?
Well, I mean, you can call it what you want to call it. I'll call it poking fun.
Okay.
Because he's up right now, so he feels good. He's going to the second round.
Trust me.
He feels good. The Cavs, but that's a whole nother con. Go on. I don't even know.
Where do the Lakers go from here, Rick?
They rebuild around Luka, and no one is untouchable. I mean, no one is untouchable.
See, you said it cleaner than me. I tried to be nice.
Huh?
Say it.
I said it, but he said it different.
Say what?
Say it, Rick.
What did he say?
Say it. Trade who?
Where do the Lakers go from here, Paul?
Everyone and anyone. You can't trade LeBron.
You cannot?
You're not going to get... LeBron has an option for a $52 million contract
56.
this year. I think it's 52, but...
This is what needs to happen.
In any case, it's
if
50
the Lakers
plus.
want to get back in championship contender moving forward, you have to get out of the constraints of the LeBron era. You have to they have to find a way to just like, all right, he's had a grasp of this Laker. He just had a grasp of the whole organization, bear hugging him for so long now. He's done some wonderful things for the Lakers organization.
No question. We want a
100%.
championship. Yeah.
They're probably going to build a statue of LeBron in front of the crypto or the Staples, whatever y'all call it, the Forum, you know.
Joe ain't going to look at me.
But I'm just saying, they have to say, Von, we appreciate your services. I think we should move on.
Tough conversation.
Tough conversation.
Yep.
It's time for the Luka era now, because I don't know if you can play them together moving forward, because you have to have a certain type of team around Luka to win. And with him with LeBron, you won't be able to create that, because they're still going to kind of be like just...
So LeBron retires?
I don't know if it's retire, but...
Rick,
LeBron,
you don't think we can move him?
You can't... No. First of all, I don't think he wants to go play someplace else. I don't think he wants to move.
Okay.
And for $52 million, like making... Look, here's the reality, and this is to Paul's point. He's not a $52 million player anymore. Maybe from a box office standpoint, but not as far as on the floor. And you've got, like, Luka, Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith, Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent. They're all extension eligible. Like, you have a ton of guys on this team. Jackson Hayes, Alex Len, you're out the door, right? You've got to find your Daniel Gafford and your Derek Lively for Luka, right? You've got to find your P.J. Washington, which may be Rui Hachimura as a close comparison. You need to find your Kyrie Irving. You need to find your second scorer. And the problem is, and this is why, you know, Paul is saying you got to move on from LeBron, is essentially it's not faulting LeBron for where they are.
No.
It's that his shadow is so big
over the organization
that there's no way that you can still have him there and think that he's going to play like a role or you can move him to the side. He just takes up all the oxygen in the room.
Even if we found that second guy, he couldn't be pushed down to the third. So he's just a progress stopper at this point.
His presence has been so large for so long.
I understand.
I think it's a challenge to turn this over and say, and here's the thing. By moving LeBron, you now put the pressure on Luka to be everything that you need him to be. He's now, look, Luka, you're the guy now, which means we need you to be in shape. We need you to be a two-way player. We need you to, we're
he
making
is what he is
you.
As far as the two-way thing go.
This is the ideal scenario.
I don't give up on anybody.
Find a way for LeBron to opt out. Wherever Bron go, you got to take Bronny. They find a way to get to Cleveland for his farewell tour in Cleveland. I think that'll be a storybook right there.
He's going to have to opt out of his contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Opt out. Cleveland can sign him this off summer, bring in Bronny with him. He announced this is my last year. Cleveland's going to be really good still next year.
Yeah, but his son want to blaze his own trail. He don't need to be running around with his daddy. He's trying to get his own
last
money.
year.
Wait,
One more
what?
year.
Bronny's not blazing his own trail.
He's trying to, as I'm saying.
Bronny's not blazing
I'm
his
just
own
saying,
trail.
he want to do his own thing. He don't want to keep bouncing around with his father.
It's going to get really interesting, though, because they have to build a Luka team. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.